Aloha, this is Dan McDonald, and I am Life Regenerator here on YouTube. I am at the Kauai Pharmacy today. I'm with the team here, and we are going to share some information and inspiration on general health, energy, and vitality. So if you do not know, Kauai Pharmacy is one of the most magical places here on the island of Kauai, growing a large assortment of medicinal and healing herbs. So today we'll be talking about how you can use herbs and other lifestyle practices to increase your energy. So I'm going to start off with my favorite. You're my favorite, you're my favorite, and you're my favorite. So I'm going to pick Taylor because I love what she has to say today. Oh my goodness. Taylor, I know that you have a lot of good stuff to say about, we're going to segue just straight into the vitality here. You have quite an experience using the vitality every day for several months straight.
I think few is the correct term. Several is 7, right?
Is it?
Yeah, not 7 months, but 3 months I was drinking a quart of vitality from our farm a day. And to say the least, it was revolutionary. At first, my senses were like very sensitive. I could see brighter colors, feel more emotion, like connect more with other things that are living. And then, of course, you go into the purging state where chemicals, residues, emotions, they all come out to be felt and observed. But definitely my favorite tea blend. And I wouldn't have continued to drink it for 3 months if it wasn't so improving for my life.
So you had detoxification.
Yeah, and so I think that's an important thing to recognize in the healing process. It's often referred to as a healing crisis, and people think, oh, I'm supposed to be getting better now, but actually you kind of sift up what's been sitting at the bottom of the body or the jar or whatever to come out, and when it comes out, it's
so you had some weight loss for sure. You said
Yes.
You lost some sizes. You had some skin eruptions as you were detoxing in that way. Did you notice an increase in your energy?
Oh, completely organized mentally. I was much more pitta in the sense that I was able to like execute and organize my thoughts and be much more productive with how I expended my energy. But then on the counter to that, I did have acne that came up, as your skin is your largest detoxing organ. And my body prefers to often detox through my skin. As well, I lost weight, not intentionally, it just kind of happened. And it makes sense because your toxins are stored in your fat cells. So something to note on that is if you are overweight, it's probably maybe because you have a lot of toxins in your body and the safest way to store them is in fat cells.
Amen to that. So was this a conscious detox?
You know, I started working here and Doug was like, hey, I want you guys to all be students of the plants. And I was like, all right, this guy's cool. He's like, drink the tea. Didn't quite get it until I was drinking the tea. And then I was like, oh my God.
Well, and the truth is, it's the best way to educate is drinking the teas. We could tell you all about the different plants, and we could read about it and do all the research. But in the end, all the plants are going to work differently with everyone's body and everyone's basically lifestyle. So a lot of times I get a lot of questions as to how to use them or how much to use, but you find your own balance with the different plants and the different blends. So something like Vitality, for some people, it would be a really strong tea and they might want to brew it lighter. And for other people, they could handle a dark brew and drinking more and more of it. The more space you give yourself, the more you'll be able to go through the process kind of in a timely manner. So in other words, if you are looking to detox or you are looking to make some dynamic changes and you're drinking the tea and you're brewing it dark and you're drinking a lot of it, if you give yourself a lot of space, then you can continue to drink the tea. If you have a kind of a tight schedule and you kind of want to stick to your patterns, then a lot of times the tea is very difficult to integrate into your lifestyle. So in Taylor's case, she kind of jumped into it. She's been doing a lot of the tea tinning and making all the love packages for all of you. And in that room, something happens when you're surrounded by all those herbs, and there's no way to not be consumed by their health benefits.
And all our teas are like tonic forms, so like you have the nice base of like mulberry and turmeric, which are nice to really good for like the kidneys and the blood and circulation and inflammation. So like with Vitality, kind of how we formulated it was that it reduces inflammation in the whole body, but helps like restore that yin energy, build the blood in the body. So you're like pumping that blood through your body more. So that's why you were detoxing, right? Is because like everything is just pumping in your body. So it's definitely an energizing tea with like the noni and everything. You don't want to drink this right before bed, because whenever we drink this, and we all drank it before this video, we're just like running around, and it's definitely energizing and detoxing, and also so good for like mental clarity. Like you said, your mind was really clear.
Yeah.
Probably because like the gotu kola and the rosemary, it just.
Yeah, 2 great brain tonics. So
Yeah.
just talking briefly about the different plants here. This is the gotu kola, renowned for the brain. You can kind of see the resemblance of the brain here. One of Dan's favorite. I remember giving Dan some gotu
Many
kola
shots.
juice. Yeah, kind of
At the very beginning.
At the very
of this
beginning.
whole journey.
that was
Dosed ya.
a special time. And then here's a turmeric flower
Ooh.
that we just
Very
picked.
beautiful.
And this is the big liver tonic. Remember, we use the root, the orange root that's in the ginger family, but it's a special time of year, so we get to enjoy some flowers. And these have that sweet,
It's like a sweet turmeric
Thank you.
root taste.
yeah, it's the flower, it's almost like fruit of the plant, right?
Yeah.
And it's
Soon to be fruit.
So
soon to be
good.
fruit.
This is something you got to go to the tropics for. You can't buy this anywhere.
No, it's
So
special.
good.
Yeah.
But this isn't in the tea. The root is, but amazing.
But the root's going to be really grounding. It's going to really work that lower chakra. All the root medicine will focus on things like your prostate glands and anything in your lowest region. So the turmeric's in there. We talked a little bit about gotu kola, the tulsi. We have moringa, which is a big nourishing herb with protein and calcium and potassium.
It's our newest addition to the blend.
Yeah.
This was formerly the energy blend,
Right.
and then you switched over and decided to call it Vitality. I think that's a great idea. The circulatory, expanding the circulatory system and getting this water deeper into those pockets. Like you said, you're going to expand the circulation. It's going to start to dig away at some of the accumulations. I mean, there's no doubt that the foods of society is going to lead to accumulations. They're just really not meant to be in there, and your blood is constantly having to store all those acid wastes. So with the circulatory herbs, and the alkalizing minerals, you're going to have an expansion in the circulation. It's going to open up those blood vessels where all that mucus and pus from the animal products is stored, and it's going to break those acids loose. And then the other great aspect of drinking these teas is busting loose the junk in the kidneys. And that's why when the kidneys aren't filtering properly, they're just these tiny little things. Now think about all the meat, potatoes, steak, eggs, cereal, bread, all the other acid forming stimulants that we have in these little tiny kidney beans have to filter all that. And that's why so many people have skin issues and their skin doesn't glow, because the kidneys are backed up. And so a program of tea and water is going to break some of that loose and allow the kidneys to finally flow. Then the lymphatic system can break loose and drain all those acids that are stored on your body. So then you'll begin to lose weight and tone up. And then as soon as the circulation is improved, the blood will get to all the other glands and organs, and they will start to produce their secretions, and the blood will get to the deeper parts of the brain and the heart, and then your energy will go up. So most people have to go through a period of time where they break the body down, and our society's not set up for that. So that's the unfortunate thing. So you have to prioritize on yourself and make time to detoxify your body now that you're learning a new, better way.
And it's an easy detox, right? It's a tonic detox. So you can brew this and take it with you all day and be sipping it. And like we were discussing before, it's like, when do you know how, and this whole discussion, But it's just based on yourself. See where you're at, start drinking it, and maybe someday you're like, no, I don't want it anymore. My body's detoxing, because it builds up, and you need to let it flow. You got to just change and start drinking water, and then add it back in. Then maybe you'll want more, and so you have to find that personal amount. And yeah, and then like you were saying, the brewing, you can brew it light or strong, and you just feel it out. And you can re-brew this tea. Like we brewed, this is like our second brew of the tea and like our fourth brew. Like you can keep pouring water onto the herbs. So don't just brew 1 cup and toss out the herbs with permanent compost. Make sure you use them a couple times and share it with your friends.
You can definitely eat them.
Yeah.
I eat them all the time.
Yeah, I mean, this is the world superfood right here, moringa. And we talked about mulberry and gotu kola. We munch on these herbs all day around the farm. Tulsi as well. So
Yacon, which
yeah,
is a new
Yacon.
one.
So yeah, Yacon is in here. We can talk about a little bit. Taylor, you want to touch on Yacon?
Yeah, so a little bit about Yacon. Am I saying it correctly?
Yacon, yeah, I believe
Alright,
so.
tomato.
Peruvian, so
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
So, interestingly enough, Yacon has this compound called inulin in it. And inulin is a fiber in the plant structure that cannot be broken down by your small intestines. And it is made of fructose molecules. So it's almost like a sugar. But it's a prebiotic in the sense that the bacteria in your gut can feed off of it and live off of it. And we all know that having healthy gut flora is like #1 to good health. And so in conjunction with the moringa, which is antifungal, and the rosemary, you're sure to feed the right flora in your stomach and not funguses or parasites.
Key.
Yeah, and the noni is anti-parasitic to antifungal. So we're kind of really targeting your flora here.
This is the noni here.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Just herbal teas, herbal tea consciousness, and then bringing green stuff into your gut, which displaces, I mean, the things that people eat bring out these microorganisms that release metabolites into your bloodstream that are not conducive to higher levels of consciousness and understanding the more subtle powers and principles of the universe and the world. So we're trying to constantly teach people to clean out their guts, alkalinize their system, and get good, real, raw plant food into their guts, and to use these herbal teas and other lifestyle practices so that your gut is clean and clear and you're living a natural lifestyle so that you can get aligned with the divine so that you can feel good and be happy, because that would be the best, right? And have energy. So it's just a process that we all got to start taking. Society's going that way, and we need to turn around and do a 180 and go that way. And that's what we're doing here, is saying plant consciousness, plant consciousness, plant consciousness, plants for your medicine and for your food. Amen.
So I'm just going to give you a little quick glance up at the herbs here. And just so you see kind of what the teas consist of, we're talking about a lot of different plants here, and it's important just to understand what a cup of, what our tea looks like when it's going to be shipped. You can see the little turmeric chips in there as well. And typically when we do, let's see a cup here, but I would take a little spoon typically, or you can take your clean hands and you would just kind of go like this for a cup. This is an extremely small cup, typically like an 8-ounce cup, and then pour hot water, and it would be in a strainer, but I just wanted you all to see that.
I love it. It's my favorite tea right now. It's just the most balanced, full-bodied. It's balanced for this one for me. Some of the other ones just give me too much energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if
definitely.
I drink
Like
them
the
at the
love
wrong
potion
time
or
of the day,
something?
yeah, it's so powerful. And so, but the vitality is just right there. It's perfect, but it's robust. I've got these great recipes I've been making up, these great tonics that I've been making at my house. I'm going to make some videos of it pretty soon.
Well, in our household, I live with my family on the farm, and we use these teas and herbs in so many different ways. If there's any kind of foot issues, for example, we would soak the foot in the tea for anti-inflammatory, for infection, for anything. We chew up the herbs. If there's cuts on my children, I'll chew the herbs up and put it right on the cut. So calming the herbs are, because that's really what you're getting, is you're getting the energy of these diverse backyard gardens, if you will, from Kauai minerals and vitamins. And when you place them on your body, immediately you feel that calm breath take over and that kind of, I guess, that euphoric energy, if you will. So, I mean, there's so many ways to use it. We had a woman with some recently that texted us that had some things going on in her hair, some live things. So we told her to soak her head in the tea to get rid of it, and also drink it internally as well. We do have hydrosols for the external, but there's so many ways to use the teas and the powders, and we're waiting for you to tell us different ways that you found to use them as well. We're
That's
just
cool.
kind of learning here.
Yeah, and this is definitely like a clear, calm energy. I mean, that's why when I drink the Vitality, it's like I drink it, I'm going, and it's it's clear.
This herb here, Coca-Cola, renowned like for in Tibet the monks. So I read and understand that the monks lived for 200 years or plus picking Coca-Cola wild in the Tibetan mountains. And every one of these, this noni plant, Polynesian canoe plant, I can scratch the surface on the history of this plant, but when I first was introduced to this plant, I used it. I would take the leaf and I would just put it on my back and kind of underneath my belt buckle, and it would just heat up and it would help me with my bad back. This was 9 years ago at the time. So I use this plant externally, and so anytime I saw a noni plant, I'd grab 5 of these leaves and just stuck them around my waist. And then the second phase was actually putting this leaf in water and drinking the tea, just raw like this. So as I mentioned, plants like rosemary, which are in this tea as well, history in Roman and Greek times as being pretty much that, and sage as being 2 of the most powerful plants to take those whole cultures. I mean, those cultures had their choice of herbs, and plants like sage and rosemary were renowned in those cultures for lung medicine, for digestive medicine, for spiritual connection. We talked a little bit about mulberry leaf being a base of Chinese medicine. That's a key tonic for Chinese medicine of building blood. And obviously Tulsi, which is so important in Ayurvedic medicine, maybe the most spiritual medicinal plant in all of Hinduism.
All right, and then just talking about Chinese medicine a little bit with the seasons. Right now it's October, we're going into winter, and with winter it's the season of the kidneys. So this would be a great one to restore. It's going to help restore that yin, that all the blood and everything. So it's really great winter tea of any seasons. If you're living with the seasons, this is the tea to drink.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent work, everyone.
Yeah.
So I will have to end it there because that was perfect. So my hope is that you learned something valuable today. As always, there's a link below this video guiding you to the YouTube of Kauai Pharmacy, the Facebook of Kauai Pharmacy, the website that has more free information on all the individual herbs. There's Instagram, and for those of you who are interested, Dan the Man, all one word, is the code to save 10% off on all the different herbs. And I recommend you try some of these herbs. You will like them. They're very fresh, usually within 2 to 3 weeks of harvest.
Yeah.
You're getting them at your
Or maximum,
doorstep, and you're not going to find fresher herbs than that. It's just not even possible. The way they do it is a raw technique, and so that's the only way that I can align myself with it. Raw, organic, plant materials for the elevation of man's consciousness. So that's what it is. Fruits and plants, those are your medicines. So I recommend you use those. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Doug. And thank you for watching. We sure appreciate your thumbs up, and leave these guys a comment, would you?
Aloha.
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 Peace.